Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with all of the fragrances that I wore last week. So, again, this is about a week and a half worth. I've gotten myself behind again. So, yeah, I'm just going to jump right in. I do have quite a few here. So, we had a period of about 3 days where winter came back. It was all of a sudden freezing again. So, I'll show you all of the fragrances I wore over that 3-day period where it was really, really cold again. Like the morning, seriously, in fact, I had to cover up my plants out there and bring all my potted plants in because it froze again. Like it got that cold. It was crazy. But so I took the opportunity to pull out some of my winter fragrances again. And the first one that I pulled out, and the first one that I pull out usually every winter or as soon as it starts getting cold, is Replica by the Fireplace. I adore this fragrance. It brings back so many just like cozy Thanksgiving, Christmas, like get-togethers. I went through a winter, I think it was the winter before I was obsessed with Nirvana bourbon, that I wore nothing but this. I went through a couple of the like smaller sprays. I think they're 10 mil, the 10 mil sprays. Yeah, I went through a couple of them. And it took me a while, but I finally just bought a full bottle of it. I adore this. This is like chestnut and vanilla, and it is just the most beautiful, sweet, cozy, woody fragrance. And Bath & Body Works has done a dupe fragrance. It's called Bonfire Bash. Somebody turned me on to that a couple of years ago, a couple winters ago, and I picked it up and it's gorgeous. It layers really beautifully under this. So that is the first one I wore, Replica by the Fireplace. So I pulled out a couple of amber fragrances because those are my other go-to cold weather fragrances. I always crave amber when it's cold out. The first one I pulled out was this guy. This is Boucheron Ambre d'Alexandrie, and I pulled this one out because I hadn't been able to give it a full wear test yet because I bought it and it started to warm up, but then we had like a weird winter again, and so I pulled this out. This is gorgeous. This is, a subscriber told me about this one. She said, hey, I know of another dupe for Ombre Narguilé from Hermes, and this is it. So I picked up a I picked up a decant of it, like an 8 ml decant of it from Fragrance Net first, and then I went back and bought the full bottle. This is like what I like to call This is like what I like to call an apple pie amber. It is so gorgeous. It's sweet. It's a little bit spicy, and oh gosh, it's so good. It's just a beautiful sweet amber, and it really does kind of smell like apple pie, even though there's no apple in it. Something about how the notes are composed give it this kind of apple pie quality. I love it. This lasts all day long. I mean, got me through an entire workday, no problem. It's beautiful. This bottle is like, I swear it weighs 10 pounds. It's so heavy. The lid alone is just so weighted and heavy. It's just gorgeous. I love this kind of tiered neck here. It's just such a beautiful fragrance, and yeah, I love it. So Boucheron Ambre d'Alexandrie. I pulled out another amber fragrance because the day after I wore that, I was still craving amber, but I was like, let me pull out another different amber fragrance. And I pulled out Amberlicious Cherry from Duois. I love this. This is a clone of 2 fragrances that have been mixed together. So a clone of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry and Ombre Narguilé from Hermes, and they're mixed. So it's like Ombre Narguilé mixed with Lost Cherry. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is so good. This is another one that lasts absolutely forever. Like, got me easily through my entire workday, and I adore it. So that is Duois Amberlicious Cherry. One more cold weather fragrance that I wore. I guess the cold weather stuck around for 4 days because I wore these all kind of like in succession. This is Nirvana Amethyst. Sorry. This is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Amethyst. This is, oh my gosh, such a gorgeous tobacco fragrance. Yes, such a beautiful sweet tobacco. It's like a sweet pipe tobacco. It's not smoky at all though. It's just like this beautiful sweet pipe tobacco fragrance. I love this. This one is a little bit more subtle. It's not like a beast. It's not like the amber fragrances that I wore. It's not like By the Fireplace. This was more of a quiet fragrance. I could smell it all day long though. That's all that matters to me. I don't care if anybody else can smell it. As long as I can, I'm happy, and I could smell it all day. Every time I moved, like I would get a whiff of this. It's so beautiful. So that is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Amethyst. Okay, and then going all the way back, this is how long I have been collecting fragrances, all the way back to when I got back from Florida. This is the only fragrance I took with me to Florida because I was packing at the last minute and I knew I wanted to take this one. I couldn't think of the other ones I wanted to take, so I just grabbed this and went, and I knew it would be enough. This is Holidays from Mancera, and this is the most beautiful... Oh gosh, and it will now always remind me of that trip, which was such a nice, it was just such a nice little getaway with my little family. Like, we didn't even do a whole lot. We spent a lot of time in the hotel room. We only got to go to the beach for a little bit. Like, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't epic. We didn't get to do anything like really fantastic. We did have plans. Like, we wanted to do some kayaking. We wanted to go on a boat tour. Like, we had all these plans, but the weather just didn't cooperate. But we didn't even care. My husband went and like rode his bike around town because he loves to ride his bike. And so he was able to do that while Charlotte and I just chilled in the hotel room, and she and I went out to the beach for a little bit. And like, it was just a nice time with my sweet little family. And I was just so happy to be able to spend that time with them away from work and just not, you know, just not working for once, because I work all day, every day, 7 days a week. Like, I'm never not working between my job and YouTube. Like, I'm never not working. So anyways, this will always remind me of that. I love it. It's a beautiful coconut. It's like it's a sweet coconutty fragrance. It's got some flowers in it, but it's a really beautiful beach fragrance that is actually quite unique to my collection of beach fragrances. I love it. So that is Mancera Holidays. The next one I wore, another Elizabeth and James. This is Nirvana White, and this is gorgeous. I wore it to work. This is super clean. This is like muguet, musk, and some third. I can't remember the third note. Yeah, I can't remember. I know it's muguet, which is lily of the valley, and musk. It's beautiful. It's clean. I love it. I get compliments on this every time I wear it. This is another one. It's like the amethyst, where it's kind of a quiet fragrance. It'll project for the first couple of hours, and then it kind of dies down and becomes a skin scent, starts wearing a lot closer to you, but people can still smell it. It's not like it goes away, and I could still smell it all day, most importantly. So I love it. It's beautiful. I love to wear this on days that I use dry shampoo, because that's the dry shampoo that I've been using, and the dry shampoo is so fragrant, it will overpower any other fragrance you're wearing. So I always just wear this on those days, because then my smells match. So anyways, that is Nirvana White from Elizabeth and James. I tested out a fragrance that I just picked up recently. This is Monotheme Apotheose de Rose, and this lasts all of an hour, maybe. It doesn't last any time at all. But it's beautiful. It's a sweet, bright, crisp, light, very modern rose. I love it. It's not groundbreaking. There are like 100 rose fragrances on the market like this, but it's still very pretty. This was very inexpensive. I picked it up at Fragrance X for pretty reasonable. And it's beautiful. Sweet, young, modern rose fragrance. So but the performance on this is really, really bad. Like, you would probably have to reapply this, I don't know, 4 or 5 times throughout the day to keep smelling like it. So but I do love it. I love this bottle too. I love the kind of apothecary style bottle. I just think it's really, really pretty. So yeah, that is Apotheose de Rose from Monotheme. Next, we have a Zara fragrance. When I pulled out my Zara fragrances to do my Zara video, I kept a couple out that I knew I wanted to wear, and this was one of them. This is Mimosa Cloud, and this is gorgeous. This is very, very reminiscent of Ariana Grande Cloud. Like very, very similar. The only difference is I think Cloud has whipped cream in it. This has pistachio in it, but they're super, super similar. This is a beast. This lasts all day on me. This is one of the best performing fragrances from Zara that I've ever found. Like, it lasts really, really well. So yeah, I love this. I've already put quite a little dent in this thing too, and I haven't even had it for that long, but I use it. I love it. So anyways, that is Mimosa Cloud from Zara. They do still actually have that one too, so if you're interested in it, you can still get that one. Zara just, like, they rotate fragrances out so fast. It's like, if you want it, man, you better get it, because 3 months from now, they're not going to have it anymore, and they'll never have it again. And then they'll bring back, they might bring it back, but it'll be in a different bottle and with a different name, but it'll be the same fragrance that Mimosa Cloud was, but you would never know it. I mean, Zara is crazy with how they kind of manage their fragrance offerings. Okay, this next one is a gorgeous fragrance. This is from Banana Republic, and this is called Linen Vetiver. And oh my gosh, I picked this up from Fragrance X, and these are little half-ounce bottles, and I found them for really inexpensive. This one is gorgeous. This is bright and kind of citrusy, but I think it's got some flowers in it. It's just super, super clean. It's super unisex. Like, anybody could wear this. It's just a really, really clean fragrance. I wore this the day that I took Charlotte to the dentist for the first time, because I didn't want to, like, knock the dentist over with my normal fragrance usage, because I usually, like, way overspray. I'm like a cloud of perfume walking around, and anytime which usually it's okay, because I'm usually it's fine because I'm just at home and I'm not bothering anybody, and I know what, you know, how to kind of apply for work. But for a dentist office, like, going out in public and being in a closed little office, like, I knew I needed to really tone it down. So this is what I chose, and it's beautiful. It's just a super stunning, clean fragrance that was, like, perfect for the dentist office. So that is Banana Republic Linen Vetiver. Okay, next we have got a Nicki Minaj fragrance. I just picked this up and I gave it a full wear test the other day, and I absolutely love this fragrance. This is Onika, and I like this better than Pink Friday. It's funny because Charlotte smelled them both and she likes Pink Friday better, which I totally get. It's a little bit younger smelling. Onika is gorgeous. This is kind of like a cross between, it kind of teeters on gourmand, but it's not really gourmand, and it kind of teeters on like a shampoo-y fragrance. It's like right there in the middle. It is beautiful. I love this. There's like something in it that makes you want to eat it, but then there's something in it that makes it smell like the most beautiful, like expensive shampoo. I adore this fragrance. I did not know I was going to fall so hard for it, and this performed really, really well for me. I wore this to work one day and it got me through my entire work day. It did only project for the first few hours, and then after that it kind of started to wear a lot closer to the skin, but I could smell it all day long. I could even still smell it after I got home. And I absolutely adore this fragrance. I'm like tempted to buy her other two, even though I never see those ones talked about. I'm tempted to buy them because I'm so head over heels in love with this one. And I really, really like Pink Friday too. They're celebrity fragrances, so they're easy breezy. They're not groundbreaking, but this one smells amazing. They all are, well, the Pink Friday does too, but I don't know, man. This is probably one of my most favorite celebrity scents ever. I love it. It just smells so good. So anyways, that is Nicki Minaj Onika. I will stop like gushing over it now. And then last but not least is the one that I pulled out, and I have been wearing this to bed and I cannot stop wearing this to bed. This has kind of replaced my Oscar Lavender for the moment. I'm like obsessed with this. This is my Boucheron Iris de Syracuse or Syracuse. Oh my gosh, I adore this. There's nothing groundbreaking. It is just kind of a powdery iris fragrance, but The powder is really, really toned down in this. It's not overly powdery at all. There's a beautiful freshness to it. And there is a slight sweetness to it. And it's a tiny bit makeup-y, but I wouldn't categorize it as like a makeup-y fragrance. There are definitely other fragrances out there, definitely other iris fragrances out there that are a lot more makeup-y smelling than this. It's just, this has just something a little bit different. It's a little bit fresher, it's a little bit sweeter, but it's still an iris fragrance at the heart of it. It's just a gorgeous, like it's one of my favorite iris fragrances I've ever smelled, like ever. It's so, so good. I love it, and I cannot stop wearing it. And this one is a beast. This will last absolutely forever. I don't know why I'm only wearing it to bed, because this one I could definitely wear to work. It doesn't project like massively, but it wears forever. I will spray it on when I go to bed, and I will still smell like this and when I wake up the next morning, and it is persistent until I take a shower. And then I have to make sure that I really scrub my chest, and anywhere that I sprayed it, I have to really scrub to make sure that I get this off, because if I didn't, then it would probably affect whatever perfume I put on that day. Like, that's how kind of persistent this is. So even though it's quite soft, and you know, it's not like an outrageous fragrance or anything like that. So, but it is persistent. It's beautiful. One of my favorite iris fragrances I've ever smelled. I love it. So that is Boucheron Iris de Syracuse. I want to keep saying Syracuse. Syracuse. And that's going to be it, guys. Those are all of the fragrances that I wore last week. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.